Hello everyone, my name is John Michael Bushman and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! In case you're noticing about the sound quality of my microphone, I'm in a different location. Again. But that's not exactly going to be too much of a detriment because we are looking at a Banlist update and it's a pretty decent one at that. Something more could be done because, the format's pretty stale right now. I haven't actually been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As much. I only play like 2-3 times a week now compared to my daily, simply because we're just waiting for Fiendsmith to come in and sweep everyone off their feet because Agnes Day is a handsome bastard. And yeah, we're also going to be looking forward to these on February the 6th, which will hopefully be the time that Fiendsmith will be rolling in and just upending the format like what it did in the paper game. But without further ado, we're going to get into the bans, and there are two of them in particular, and then there will be a semi-limit, but we'll get to that in a bit. First off, Secret Villager Spellcasters. In the paper game, this is honestly a fine card. It's okay, but in a best of one format where your answers to basically lockout effects like this are extremely limited because again, it's only a best of one. It's just not worth it to keep in the game, so might as well take it out in the back of the shed and so that it will never be heard of ever again. And then coming up after that, Summon Limit. This was just asking to be banned sooner or later. I'm still honestly surprised that the actual other instigators, there can be only one, Gozen Match and Rivalry of Warlords, they're still like free to roam about, but Summon Limit is a no-go. But I guess some of the continuous traps are more egregious than others, and come to think of it, the three that I mentioned off the top of my head, they only really stop certain decks, they don't stop all decks, and Summon Limit basically has the widest net out of all of them, so I guess the ban is definitely worth it. Then coming up to the limits, we have Anti-Spell Fragrance. I mean, this was just asking to be just banned eventually. I mean, it's already banned in the paper game as far as I remember. I mean, to be expected. In a best of one format, you can't exactly have something like this. The only way to answer stuff like this is to basically go to the sideboard, and we don't have sideboards here in Master Duel. So good riddance to this. Stuff like this, sometimes it basically kills the card, but if you get sacked by this, as the saying goes, I mean, bad luck to you. Then we move on to the semi-limits. Maxi finally getting the slap on the wrist. I don't really think this is slap on the wrist. It's more like cutting one of the Hydra's heads off, but not necessarily killing it. So it's something, but again, we only have like what people call 8 copies of Maxina with the Mulcharmies in the game, and then the third one coming on along the way sometime in the future. But this isn't exactly going to affect too much, simply because Maxi is a broken ass card and people are still gonna run it in spite of it being semi-limited. And we're just gonna move on to the next one immediately, which is Sangen Kaimen. Again, as long as it's not limited to one, it's fine. We're still gonna run about as long as nothing is limited to one. I mean, if Kaimen gets limited to one, then that basically kills the entire archetype, because it will be far harder to set things up with just one Kaimen. Dora Dora, being the cute little dragon that it is, it can only do so much, unfortunately. Then, of course, Nightmare Throne being semi-limited, this will definitely kill the consistency for Yubel decks. But as long as Phantom of Yubel is at 2, we'll be completely fine over here on Master Duel, Hooray for us Yubel players. But likely once Fiendsmith rolls in, we are not going to have a good time. Then the unlimits are pretty interesting ones. Morphing Jar and Cyber Jar are both coming back to 3. These are fine in this day and age. Empty Jar can still be a deck that you can lose to every once in a while because this is a digital best of one format. But stopping shit like this is extremely easy. Simply have the board wipe necessary to get rid of them without having to flip them face up is pretty easy these days compared to way back when, especially when these two jars were banned during that specific time period. Then another unlimit, Aluber Duber, Duboober Duber. Branded will always be in the game now, apparently. But as long as branded fusion is limited to 1, we will be fine because Aluber Boober, Duboober Duber is the new normal summon Alistair now. Then the other unlimit Saronir, they're basically going to peel off all of the quote-unquote bad bestials off of the ban list. Likely Magnemut will be the only one that'll stay, simply because that guy searches all of the other guys. So there is that. Another unlimit, I mean, rightfully so, and it's about goddamn time, Celestial. This was the engine that basically gave Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer Turbo decks the refueling it needed in order to have a comeback in the game. And now that this guy's unlimited, hero decks are gonna be fresh for card draw now. They'll basically have their third option back. I believe Liquid Soldier, and I keep forgetting the other guy's name, but oh right, there are also builds of hero that use Crosskeeper, which also draws cards and discards cards as part of its effect. And this guy will basically round out. And no, as far as I know, nobody ever really plays Celestial beyond just the one copy anyway, so putting this guy back to 3 is going to be completely fine. And then the last unlimit here, Branded Opening. I mean, again, Branded will highly likely still be a deck in this game moving forward. And yeah, that's it for the updates to the ban list come February the 6th. And I'm recording this on January the 20th. Is it the 24th or is it? Oh wait, no, it's the 25th. Today is the 25th. I'm recording this a little earlier rather in the week, simply because I am in another location, not in my usual spot, but I'm somewhere else. But otherwise, yeah, we're gonna go into these duels, and contrary to what I was originally gonna do, I was just gonna do another exploration of the casual rooms. But these banlist updates, especially with the limiting of Maxi and Nightmare Throne here, I'm actually going to go into the rank ladder with Yubel, and then we're gonna see if we're going to feel the effects. So we'll see you in the duels. Won the Daro at least, and we're rocking the same field, so at least it will be visually pleasing to us here. But if my opponent's gonna concede immediately, then I guess it's a win in our books. Oh my god. I'm gonna look at this guy's deck and post, and we're gonna see what this guy is rocking and why he had to leave so soon. Okay, we're here at my opponent's deck, and I can definitely see why they left so soon. They probably ended up with a Genius Loci, although sometimes that can also be like a soft brick, because, you know, Sanaval Andreas just needs a level 4 lower plant monster, so that's not exactly a brick. But if they ended up with stuff like, let's say, the high-level monsters, which is usually Snowdrop here, and, ooh, okay, they only have one of, well, they have a couple of the Ragnaraikas here. Cactus Bouncer is like a really funny card that Ragnaraika decks use. Simply because of the second effect. It can't be special summoned, so you literally have to normal summon this. And this combo deck in particular, it can go through its whole line without ever having to normal summon. And this is your only normal summoned deck. And given that Ragnaraika searches what was it? Is it insects? There we go. Insects, plants, and reptiles. Since they search these things so well, it's no surprise that they can afford to have a cactus clicked out of it. They can afford to have this funny little guy into the deck. So there is that, but I guess they probably brick so hard that they don't want to face me in shame. And that's sad. I mean, I want to see what those guys are capable of, because Yubel doesn't exactly kill quickly unless they are left to their own devices, of course. My opponent made me go second, so that is already horrifying for me. So we're gonna see. We don't exactly have an interactive hand, but it is a hand that can potentially punch through a lot of stuff that my opponent could potentially do. But if we're going to be facing off against Dragon Leg, I can literally just sit back, relax, and just let my opponent combo off, and I'll be back just so that I can see how fucked I am in the ass once, you know, my opponent goes through all of their wombo combo lines. So I'll see you guys at the start of my turn. Okay, I am back, and I am starting my turn. I have only 3 things to go through. It's not going to be too hard, surprisingly. I can actually just, you know, fuse away probably two of these things. I'll fuse away likely SP Little Knight and Red Eyes Dragoon here. But it would be far funnier to just whatchamacallit, to just, you know, eat the whole board away using Loving Defender here. But the hard part would be getting to it. So we're going to see what we can bait out first. We're going to start with the opening of the Spirit Gates here. Let's see if they waste their removal on this. I'm assuming they won't, because they're going to save their Dragoon Negate for something far, far more impactful, like, say, Nightmare Pain here. But we're going to see if they negate this. And they also have 3 cards in hand. And by the way, I already, like, drank water, set up the bedroom and whatnot for sleeping later tonight. I'm recording this at night because that was the only free time that I had. But we're going to see if this feigns anything out of them and gets them any interaction out. SP Little Knight isn't exactly going to be too helpful in this situation. They would probably use it to some effect later, but not here. I mean, okay, sure. Just make sure you tribute the right monster. There we go. That is not where we act, unfortunately. So that is, I mean, once per turn. Yeah, this is a soft once per turn, but I mean, it's not gonna do too much. So, they're gonna summon a dragon. Sure, that is fine. We already normal summoned for the turn, so we're going to need to do the Yubel thing here. If my opponent even allows me to do so. So we're gonna see if they react to this. We're gonna set Nightmare Pain down, and let's see if my opponent reacts. Yeah, I mean, to be expected, they're going to react. They're discarding the spare Red Eyes fusion that they had. It's just literally just bestial combos that end with Dark Dragoon. Jesus Christ. Okay, sure. Sure thing, opponent. Go on, pop off, King. I mean, that thing is only like freaking once per turn, so I believe we can sort of pop off here, unless of course they have more interaction in hand. Select card in deck, yes, please, and we will select Spirit of Yubel, and we will actually not add it to hand. Instead, we will destroy it using the field spell, and that's an effect that I don't usually use. Surprisingly, but this is going to be fine here, and we're going to summon OG Yubel right here, and then once that's there, let's see. I mean, it's when it passed back to my opponent, they're gonna interact with something, but they're gonna be in for quite a surprise once they realize that I have a super polymerization here, Yugs. They're gonna be in it. They're gonna be really in it. Alright, we have Spirit of Yubel in the graveyard anyway, so I guess we can do this. Yeah, we're going to discard some out of these nuts because we can. Again, we're still waiting on the Super Poly thing to do something about it. Sure, they're going to banish, I would assume, is the Phantom of Yubel, or they could also banish some out of these nuts. But definitely the correct option here would be, yeah, the Spirit of Yubel. And I guess... No, we're not going to do it yet. We're literally going to eat away their whole board using Druid Swarm here. Although, if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, it's going to be sent to the graveyard. So I guess we're going to have to do it like this. We're not going to use Super Poly yet because we cannot... I guess we add the continuous spell back because, you know what, why not? I believe you can only activate one of those per turn, question mark. Well, we can only use the effects once per turn, so that is something. And we haven't really used it. Only the effect was negated, so I guess we have free reign to do our things here. Because they only have one card in hand, and who's to say that it will be something impactful. So we're gonna find out soon enough. Spirit of Yubel down, and then we use their effect, and we're gonna see if Search comes to life. And no, it does not. I guess not as good a time as any. We're gonna do this. because we have a Nightmare Pain in hand anyway, so might as well. We're actually going to discard the other opening of the Spirit Gates. We can fetch it back later with the copy that we have on board already, so we're gonna do it that way. Then we're gonna use Loving Defender, and then we will literally eat away their whole board. And this is why I honestly have a tough time imagining myself cutting Loving Defender, because it is useful for situations exactly like this. But it's going to be sent away by Druid's Worm, but I think it's fine, simply because the field spell is going to fix that. It will allow me to shuffle Loving Defender back into the deck. Well, quote-unquote, extra deck. Then we do this first, and then we get this. I mean, I don't care that the Nightmare Throne effect gets negated here if this is an Ash Blossom, because it's pretty obvious that it's something. And yeah, it's going to be sent, but they're going to get burnt for it, so I don't mind too much. But we're going to be able to summon something off of it anyway, and it'll be Terror fucking Incarnate. Oh my god, I forgot that this was a thing that it could do. Simply because I believe we sent one of the... Yeah, because we sent one of the level 10 Yubels, so now we have Terror Incarnate on the field. And now we're going to do something slightly spicy here. Maybe just slightly. So we'll return the Loving Defender. Right, I forgot that you can do that. With the Link Zero, as people have called this thing. So there, we have it there. Then we do this. And then, I think what we do here, we actually destroy the Terror Incarnate so that we can get the this guy, because my opponent literally has nothing on field, and I have absolutely no idea if they can even mount an offensive from here. So you and I are gonna find out together if they can even do something about this. But guys, Grander Golem is something. So we're going to see if they even do something here, if at all. Okay then. I guess... Oh wait, no, it's lethal anyway. I completely forgot that they're at 2,500. Oh! Using Nib! Opponent, please. I have this! Opponent, why didn't you see that one coming? Come on! I guess we destroy the one in the deck so that we get Terror Incarnate out. Because why not? Oh my god, opponent. Sure. I'm pretty sure Nibiru is only a once per turn activation. No, we will not continue my main phase. Oh my god, this is an extremely hilarious way to finish this off. And yeah, sure, I'll even gain 3,000, and then my opponent dies. Let's move on to the next duel. Opponent made me go second again, so I am not happy about my odds. But it's going to be something. We do have interaction, but we don't have a maxi. And yeah, I am feeling the limit of maxi here. But I like that, 2 cards less, you expect to miss some of the other ratios, but surprisingly, the deck feels slightly more consistent, if that makes sense, simply because you're just getting to your cards far quicker. And we're facing off against Snake Eye Fire King. Oh boy, this was a deck that I was very excited to kick ass, simply because Tenpai was in the game, but they literally hid underground for as long as they did, and they, as far as I know, they literally shifted over to Tenpai when it came around, and then they're just waiting the bans to hit the deck, and then they'll get back to Snake Eye Fire King. But with White Forest, dominating the paper game at the moment, I'm pretty sure that will see play more than this variant now ever will, simply because the Fire Kings can only really do so much. And White Forest has far more ways to punch through negation. They have ways to recycle their resources better. So White Forest is basically what Fire King does, but with far less work, I guess. So there is that. I guess we negate the High King Avatar here before we do anything else. Because I believe, yeah, he can do a thing here, and this will at least force out the issue and cause him to act now rather than later. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to allow that, and then he's basically going to be left at the mercy of whatever this in the back is. So we're going to normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast. Let's see if that feigns a reaction. No, it does not. But I'm assuming my opponent is going to save their removal for something somewhere down the line. They do not do anything yet. Not yet, anyway. Is this Drone and Lockbird because a card was added to my hand? Are they going to do something about that? No, they do not. They still don't. They do not respect me in the slightest, or, you know, they could just be bricked, like, pretty hard simply because I negated the Fire King High Avatar. Although they do have Garunix in the graveyard, so that is cause for slight concern. And they have most of their back row, so I am going to be only just slightly concerned here, simply because their back row is going to sort of help them out if it comes back around to their turn, of course. But the funny thing is, as much as they like destroying their stuff, I also like destroying my own stuff. And we're going to start by summoning the Yama here, the Unchained Soul Lord of Yama. I'm just realizing that Yama isn't his name. He's the Lord of Yama. So whatever his name is, it's different from whatever this card name is, because this is definitely his title, but Yama is not his name. But people just call him Yama because it's what seems to be a name around these parts. So we're going to do this, and then Unchained Soul of Sharvara. There we go. We have Sharvara in hand, and my opponent, they're thinking about something, but I am not quite sure what they're gonna go for. Normally I would discard... Actually, should I discard Yubel here? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to see if that feigns anything. Do they have any darks in the graveyard? No, they do not. And we don't have any darks in the graveyard, unfortunately. Although we do have a... do we have a fire? No, we do not. I'm sure Sharvara's a fire, so there is that. I guess now is a good time as any to use this. We're going to shuffle back in this and shuffle back in this. There we go. And then once those are in, let's see if that gets a reaction out of my opponent. Reason I'm going to this is I smell something is funny back there. And then I'm going to use Sharvara here. Wow, something is funny back there. Okay, sure. That is fine. So he's going to destroy the Kirin, and he's going to destroy the Phantom of Yubel. I don't know why you would do that, but I guess that's fine, question mark. Okay. We're going to use Sharvara here. We're going to Desuturoi the Phantom of Yubel. Is this dependent? I'm not quite sure. Equal to the number of Fire King monsters. Target an equal number of Fire King and wait, do the numbers have to be exact or else this thing will fizzle? We will find out together here, chat. I don't have chat, I just have comments. So we're going to see. Oh, it still resolves. Okay, cool. So Kirin is still destroyed, and a whole host of effects are going to go off simply because something was destroyed. So we're going to see. Okay, yeah, Garunix and Kirin are going to have their effects pop off here. And now we're going to start drawing cards because I am not quite sure if they can even stop this. But every time priority passes back and forth, it hints that they have something. But I guess it was just that the quick play spell that they set face down. So there's that. Okay, we draw one card off of that, and Kirin, I assume, will either summon something or... Oh, it only adds to hand. Okay, sure. Garunix, what does it do? Destroy in hand, deck, or face-up field. Sure. I don't know if my opponent realizes that I'm fine with my shit getting destroyed because I'm on the Unchained part of my deck. But we're going to find out soon enough. And speaking of Unchained, I'm not actually quite sure if Yama will be one of those cards that's going to get the cut once the well, not really Unchained, but once the Fiendsmith guys roll around. But I'm gonna find out when I get there. We'll get there when we get there. But for now, we're going to see if I can kick my opponent's ass with this. Sharvada, I mean, yeah, sure, go do your thing. We're just going to search out the lone trap card. I mean, it's only really there just as a way to chain block certain effects when it comes down to it. So we're going to target Garunix. I'm assuming it has a quick effect something, but I guess it does not. Oh, it's not allowing us. Is it because we don't have the materials for it? I'm assuming that's the case, which is honestly not surprising. That we can't go into wait. Oh, right. I forgot that I removed access code talker. Whoopsie daisy. But I guess removing this is also fine. Removing the field spell is fine here. But we can't attack directly. So, destroy all monsters you control. Sure. I mean, he doesn't have a board anyway. So, what's the point in all of this when you will never change? We're going to discard the cross-out designator. We're going to summon this guy out because we can. There's literally nothing else he's in here for. We could go into Cross Sheep, but we don't exactly have a lot of resources. And we can't attack directly anyway, so we're just going to pass back. We can't set the Super Poly down because we literally have no resources for it. And I believe so does my opponent because his Kirins are... Oh my god, his hand must be bricked up so hard and in a bad way, not in a good way. Jesus Christ. So there's going to be one of those duels. Either my opponent's... okay, he has another field spell, so he can still somewhat combo off, but... oh, wait, no, I forgot that SP Lunite only targets monsters, but I guess we'll be sort of safe here. Maybe, maybe not. I could probably die right here, right now, because Fire Kings can put up a lot of points of damage, like, very, very quickly. Or, you know, they don't have anything here, and, they're having internet connection issues, but that's a coin flip in and of itself, because they're either having legitimate issues or they literally just, you know, Alt F4 the game because they don't have anything else to do here. But knowing Fire Kings, and especially with their most recent wave of support, which is like probably a few years old now, they probably have something to push past a board like that's as simple as this. So we're going to find out if I win or lose, so I'll see you guys at that point, because this is gonna take a while. Okay, we're back. And after 84,000 years, I was finally able to outgrind my opponent. Jesus Christ. Their combo lines took a while, and my combo lines took a while, and we were exchanging resources back and forth. And it was a really good grind game, but it took a while, and it took a lot out of me. Jeez, my God, that was... I mean, it was a pretty interesting duel, but nothing too interesting really happened. I was able to crack through it first, as you can barely see here. I have a bit in hand, and my opponent literally had nothing going for themselves. And I was able to get Varudras out, which is the new rank 10 Xyz monster that they added into the game. And I swung for lethal with that one because I couldn't find a way to get the Geistgrander Golem into rotation on my opponent's side of the field. So I had to kajigger my way into getting Varudras out. So we're gonna cut it here because this duel literally tuckered me out like so goddamn hard. So I'll just see you guys at the next video. And if you like what you saw, hit like, comment, subscribe, and share this among your friends. And until next time, toodles.